Hi, my name is Sonia Campbell, and I'm a writer-producer with the independent film and commercial production company Crown Chimp, based in Tucson, Arizona, the film production capital of the world. No, we're very indie-based. I've been with Crown Chimp about 5 years now, and I got into independent film about 20 years ago when my love for horror and sci-fi and fantasy film led me to want to know how to do creature effects. I got more and more interested in special effects makeup artistry, and so, read a lot of Fangoria, read a lot of the great effects makeup artist books, did the corresponding course with Dick Smith, apprenticed under a special effects makeup artist named Michael Peterson, and got a lot of my experience that way. And also just sort of, volunteering for as many films as I could possibly do, and putting myself out there. So self-taught makeup for many years, did a lot of short films, a few feature films as a freelance effects makeup artist, and ran into Crown Chimp at a film festival. I really liked their work, talked to them, and said, hey, if you ever need a makeup artist, give me a call, and they did. So I did freelance makeup for them for a while, and then about 5 years ago started working more for marketing Crown Chimp, and also getting involved on the production side and eventually writing. So luckily we have a lot of the same sensibilities, and Nick, who's the owner, founder, director at Crown Chimp, he saw a lot of potential in me, and I've been really happy that he and I have become great friends and now creative partners. So I was given the opportunity with Crown Chimp to go kind of from freelance artist to producer and writer, and I'm really happy with that role in the company. So my first project was a short film that was filmed in Fountain Hills, Arizona, which is up by Phoenix. The director is named Matt Diecht, and the title of the film was The Banjo Player. And they actually were looking for some special effects makeup through Craigslist, and I found the job and I volunteered to do it. I put myself up in a hotel room. I drove up there. I remember being super nervous because I really didn't feel like I deserved, work yet. So I was really volunteering for about maybe 5 years when I first started makeup. The jobs are few and far between in a state like Arizona, so I just was kind of doing whatever I could left and right to gain more experience. And that experience made me realize I really loved working on set. I love working with film crews, and you make like a little family for a little while you're shooting, and I had a great time and realized that was the thing I wanted to really do, is work on film. I've been doing various roles in indie film for about 20 years. Now, indie film is very much outside of the Hollywood system. So what we're currently working on, I would say, a great model for where Crown Chimp wants to go and eventually be is A24, because you have all of that independent filmmaker spirit combined with, hey, getting your work out, actually making large production films that get picked up and people see, which would be, nice. To have our work put out there other than festivals, and have the financial support to do exactly what our visions are. We're definitely weird and artsy, and working within the confinements of some of the projects that we might be up for, that are out of Hollywood or other large businesses, maybe stuff in Toronto or Atlanta, even Albuquerque. We have a very specific voice and very specific brand, so it's a little bit difficult to always think about ways to maybe conform or let go of our artistic visions in order just to do paid work. And that goes for commercial side as well. what we're working on currently, some of the projects have been shuttered. Some of the projects that were on slate that looked like they're about to go into production are on pause indefinitely due to the pandemic. We had 3 things that looked like they were getting the green light in March, and they're all been halted. And, but we are concentrating on writing right now. Nick and I are working on a feature film called Butcher in the Woods. We have a first draft done, low budget folk horror film, and I'm on a rewrite for my feature length film Denture Fangs, which is a really personal project for me. Hopefully that will be Crown Chimp's first feature film, we hope. One of those anyway. And let's see, other than that, you know, I could personally say that I've been working a lot more on just trying to develop my skills as a screenwriter. It takes a long time to develop this kind of craft and way of storytelling, so I'm just trying to get better and better every day, and it's something you have to continuously practice. So I'm also writing a pilot called Blue Eyes, which is kind of like, I call it a teen pop horror. So finding places for our work is a challenge, but we're always up for it. As far as advice to give people who want to get into the film industry, I'm not a very good person to ask if you want to make a living in film, if you want to work full-time as a filmmaker. It's probably best that you study your craft in school and network there and work your way up into a respected filmmaker. A lot of great directors, writers, actors go that route. So what could go wrong, you know? In terms of working in independent film, it's more just go out and do it. Like, drop out and fucking make a film. Like, if you want to be a makeup artist, pick up a book and learn how to do it. You know, now you can watch YouTube videos, go practice on your friends and family. If you want to be an actor, you know, study hard. It's not something you can just do, and it doesn't come naturally to everybody. If you want to be a director, there's different routes. It just depends on what your goals are and how much you're willing to cooperate with maybe the business side of film. So it's a fine balance, and everybody's path is different. But, you know, my biggest piece of advice, if I were to give any to anybody who wants to be a filmmaker, is always maintain a sense of delusion. You have to have faith that you can do it. You have to have faith that you're meant to be a storyteller, and that's why you're here. And if you have complete faith in that, then it doesn't really matter what path you take to get there. It just, all that matters is that, you know, you have something to tell and you're going to get it out there at no matter what cost, almost. Yeah. So, yeah, have some delusion. Another word for it is hope. Basically, don't worry about the odds and statistics. Just keep doing exactly what you're meant to do. And things will happen for you. Women in horror that I would say inspired my work. I'd have to say Vampira and Elvira in terms of, you know, their image and their beauty and their poise and their uniqueness. Just as icons, I really admire and look up to them, and I love their wit and their intelligence. You know, they're respected as idols. You know, they're lifelong figures in horror, and I think that's pretty awesome to accomplish, especially in kind of what is a boys' club horror film and in general the industry. It just is. So on one side, it's wonderful that they have taken their femininity and their sex appeal and all of that to make a name for themselves, while still, you know, going about it in a way that captured a big audience. That's lifelong. In terms of writing and filmmakers, even though Catherine Bigelow isn't a name in horror, well, she directed Near Dark, which is a cult classic in vampire films. I mean, everyone who is into horror and 80s horror knows Near Dark. It has a very specific style and tone, and it just is an everlasting, transcendental horror film. And so I really admire the artistry that went into that film. So definitely think about Catherine Bigelow when I think about some of my favorite horror directors. And then in terms of writing, novelist Anne Rice, I know this is kind of a generic answer, but I read the Vampire Chronicles in high school, and I would say that those books really became part of my identity, you know, for a long time, and maybe still now. So, yeah. So if you would like to learn more about Crown Chimp, our films, our commercial work, check out crownchimp.com. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at crownchimp. Old Man Forever, which is the short film based on Denture Fangs, the feature-length script, premiered at the Women in Horror Film Festival in Atlanta this year. We have it in other festival submissions right now. Hopefully we'll see it accepted into more festivals. And you can check out our other short films on Vimeo if you look up Crown Chimp on Vimeo. If there's anything on there that you want to see that is just a trailer, please feel free to reach out to me on social media, on Instagram at Campbell Horror. And yeah, like I said, we're working on trying to get our first feature made. So, you know, we're just like anybody else inside and outside of Hollywood. And thanks for having me.